Hello and welcome to the last section of this course. It's all about the interview. And the interview is the last, part of the journey of the application process. So now, you know, you're looking at somebody who's successful, who's been successful so far. You have worked so hard on a resume, good looking resume. You worked so hard on a cover letter. You got their attention. They've been through and did the research on you. They might have talked to a few references. They might have actually looked at your profiles. So now they're interested in you. They, the idea here is that some people are nervous about, interviews. And I have an idea. I have something to tell you that should help, change your mind completely about the way you see how these interviews are perceived. Okay, so the way you should think about it is that these people need you more than you need them. That's one. They have picked you among thousands of other applicants. You are so interesting that you've been chosen among all those other people, and they want to talk to you so that they can decide whether you're a good fit or not. In most cases, interviews are just a formality to just see, if you're going to fit with the team. And a lot of other companies actually kind of go through rounds of interviews. So you can actually interview the sales team. You can have an interview with the advertising or marketing team, so that they see if how you're going to fit. And you might actually end up having a call with the CEO if it's a small company or a startup. So even if the way they're doing things is this, they just want to kind of filter out bad apples. So if you're already good at what you do, if you've already shown that you actually deserve the job, they just want to see how you react in a pressure kind of situation. But what I'm trying to say is that you should not think of an interview as being a pressured situation. It shouldn't. It's not a pressure situation. It's not a tough thing to actually go through. It's just a conversation. And the way to think about it, to perceive it, is that they actually think you're interesting. So you're cool, right? So just go through it, answering questions, and I have something else that's going to help you even do even better. And this is really important. You have to prepare, right? I mean, you're not just going to sit there and answer questions. You have to prepare. And there's only one thing. It's a major thing. And that's all you have to do before the interview. And that's to do as much research on the company or agency as you can. Learn the names of the key people. Try to find what products or services they're selling. Try to learn about their hiring rounds and how they do it. Try to see if they've made the news, one way or the other. Your best friend here would be Google. You jump on Google News, type in the name of the company, see if they've actually been featured, they've been talked about in any way. Go to Google Jobs and actually check whether they've been doing any other hiring rounds. You go to LinkedIn profiles, their social media profiles, Facebook, Instagram, whatever they have. Just learn as much as you can about them as possible, because you're going to use that information in your interview. And if they're a startup, have they been raising any funds recently? Because again, the more you know, the more you can be prepared the day of the interview. Another thing to think about is, are they trying to solve a specific problem by hiring you? Are you a marketing expert? Are you a web developer? Are you a graphic designer? Are you a freelance marketing automation expert? Whatever you do, are you a teacher, like who's going to be in a new school that's going to be teaching remotely? So you should have prepared notes, before you go to the interview based on your experience. So let's say you are a marketer. Marketers solve, problems that the company is having. The company wants to sell more products or sell more services. So they're hiring you because they want to get more exposure. But again, there's many marketers out there. And what is making you different? You're obviously being interviewed you're not the only one being interviewed. They're probably interviewing 5 other people or 10 other people. So you just want to kind of solidify the fact that you're unique and that you're actually a good fit. But, this kind of jibber jabber sounds very journalistic, very generic advice about like, get prepared. But what you want to do is focus on the problem, specific problem. So the research that you've done, you want to take that research and kind of put yourself in the position, just like I mentioned in the previous video. You have to link your expertise and skills to the problem that they want to solve, and you are the person who are gonna help them solve it. So you should also think of preparing your questions. You shouldn't just answer questions. You should actually ask questions. So by coming prepared, you can ask questions about the nature of the job. Is it new? Has there been somebody else? Why did they have any? Do you have any idea why that person left? Did they have any challenges during the job? Something that I can work on to prepare. Have I, in case I'm gonna be picked? So it's an area of things that you should work on. Another thing you should prepare is prepare a cons and a pros list of you as the person in the position. And what I mean by that is, so here are the pros and here are the cons. Here are the pros of me being in the position, and this is why I bring to the table. The cons is mostly what people like to refer to as like weaknesses and strengths when you're talking about like the skills that you have. So you don't want to just take your weaknesses or cons and factor them in as something that's positive, because that looks very cliche. That's very cliche. That's very generic advice again. So what you want to do is take that con as something as one extra skill. So let's say you have 5 skills that you're very good at. You're very good at time management. You're very good at creativity. You're very good at analyzing campaigns. You're data oriented and you like to see results. But there's one extra skill that you still need improvement in. So that's the con that you put in the list. You say, okay, so this is the con that I'm not very good. This is the thing that I'm trying to improve at. And I've only started picking up this skill, and I know it's important, over the last year because I was in a position where I had to learn this skill. I'm not very good at it now, but I'm actually improving day by day. So you just take it as something, as a learning experience. And it always helps to actually add a storytelling aspect to it. Storytelling, previous work experiences, previous jobs, previous things that you've worked on, and try to spin them as and using stories is actually extremely important here. Using stories is extremely important because it helps show you as somebody who's put in those examples into actually real life examples, and showing them like what the result was of that like experience, of that job, of that project that you worked on. Another thing is you want to prepare a sheet with the problem, piece of paper with a problem and the solution that you propose. So let's say they started a new line of products. The company they're hiring you're hiring you as a marketing expert in the digital marketing space. And this is actually very prevalent right now because of people moving on to digital marketing space. So there's a company who hasn't been really good at, selling online. So you're being hired to oversee creating a new website, creating a new ad campaign online, and how you're going to help them do that. So their problem is very visible. And a lot of actually companies, their problems are very, out there. They're very visible. You don't have to do too much digging and research to find out what they're looking for. So most of the time, they actually show you these problems or talk about the problems out there in the job listings. So we're releasing a new website and we're doing this and this and that. So you come in prepared with, okay, so this website needs to be on a platform that's future-proof, that can be upgraded, and I have the experience to help upgrade your infrastructure without having any effect on the traffic that we send to the website, and actually with my experience in conversion rate optimization, for instance. These are just examples, but you can appoint yourself as the person who is going to help, and that you have the experience to actually execute those those solutions, and actually provide results that are like positive results to these people. So I hope it makes sense. So company X wants a new website, wants a new ad campaign. You're being hired. You come in and tell them, okay, so your current website is really messy. It's really bad. In my previous project, I worked on creating a new website, and here's what we did, and it's very fast, and it loads really fast, and we helped send more traffic from Google and send more traffic from social media, and we were able to actually make X number of sales and this time frame. Like in 6 months, we were able to sell. So that's just one of the examples. When you do this, when you come prepared with a problem, again, solution, you are definitely, or at least in most cases, walk out with a job offer. And believe me, this has happened way too many times. When people find that good fit, who come prepared, in most cases, they get the job right away. And that's the way I want you to think about this. Just come prepared, do your research, prepare a solution, and then you'll definitely get some really, really good news. All right, I'll see you in the next video of what to do during the interview. Thank you.